let's continue the prayers of Shabbat. Prayers of Shabbat in the morning. Okay? We start in the prayers of Shabbat like a regular days of the morning blessing. We start in Netilat Yadayim, the 18 morning blessing, Asher Yatzar Elohai Neshama, like that. We do Birkat Kohanim, the blessing of the Torah. We don't have Tefillin, basically, but we do have Tallit. We just say the blessing of the Tallit. Start in the morning blessing. We do the blessing of the Tallit. This is you covering yourself if you go to shul or even you pray at home. And then we have the korbanot. Korbanot is the sacrifices that we said. This is according to Sephardim. According to Ashkenazim, they start right away from Hodu. Remember? You can start also from Hodu. It's like the regular Shacharit. The only difference, it's after you finish Hodu, we have additional of chapters from Psalm that belongs to Shabbat, that we using it only on Shabbat and Yom Tov. Shabbat and holidays. Okay? Let's go and see it inside the Siddur. So we start in 246, the Shacharit of Shabbat. This is the Zemirot. Hodu l'Adonai kiru b'shmo, hodu b'yamim elotav. Okay? Give thanks to Adonai, His name, that He knows amongst the nation. This is Hodu, and it's like the regular weekly prayer. Okay, we finish Hodu. Gonna go quickly. We do the Aromimcha Adonai Kedilitani. It's a Psalm page, Psalm chapter 30. Okay, we finish it and we all standing and we say Adonai Melech, Adonai Malach, Adonai Melech L'olam Va'ed. Okay, and then we starting the Shacharit of Shabbat by saying couple chapters of Psalm. Which one of it? Which one of them? I don't see it inside the PDF. Okay. Shabbat morning. You can see Shabbat morning Shacharit. Shabbat morning Shacharit. So morning blessing. Then Zemirot. Then Baruch She'amar and Psukei de Zimra. When I say Zemirot, this is all the chapters from Psalm. Okay? We say it. It's like few chapters from Psalm. Then we do Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasdo. It's the 26 levels of all the, represent the 26th generation from the beginning of the creation until the generation that we got the Torah. That the world was exist without Torah, only on chesed, on kindness of Hashem. Okay? When we finish it, we start in Baruch She'amar, we stand in, we hold in the tzitzit, standing and do Baruch She'amar, then we start in Psukei de Zimra. Okay? Psukei de Zimra, it's also from Baruch She'amar. And Psukei de Zimra is the same thing like a regular Shacharit. I told you, the only difference, it's before Baruch She'amar, the Zemirot that we do from Psalm. You can see it inside the Siddur. So from 256, you start in the Zemirot until Baruch She'amar. You're doing Baruch She'amar when you're standing. After Baruch She'amar, we say the song of Shabbat. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Okay? And then we do the chapter of Psalm 93. This is Adonai Malach Geut Lavesh. Then we continue like the regular Psukei de Zimra of the regular Shacharit. Until when? Until this point. 308. 308. This is the part that after the song of the Moshe of Am Yisrael, we have the song, the prayer, a special prayer called Nishmat Kol Chai. Nishmat Kol Chai is a special prayer who talks about our gratitude to Hashem. That if we would have the best place in the world, and the best mouth in the world, the biggest mouth in the world, the biggest eyes, the biggest tongue, the biggest body, the biggest hands, the biggest wings, we can't even express our gratitude. All your miracles, all your abundance, all what you gave us, all what you help us. Oh my, you protect us from all the secrets in the world. That's what we said, and it's a lot of sgulot also. If a person have a problem in his life, would like to get a salvation, he need to commit it to himself that if he will get through it, if he got stuck in immigration or anything like problems and healthy problems or whatever, I'm gonna say Nishmat Kol Chai with 10 people if I'm gonna get this salvation or these miracles. So Nishmat Kol Chai, this is the prayer that Yitzchak and Rivka. Yitzchak, it's the son of Avraham Avinu, our father. When they didn't have kids for 20 years, they established this prayer. We're going to see their names together in the end of this blessing. So Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shemcha, Baladecha Elenu Melech Gol Mashiach. We don't have a God beside you. You doing so much, and you have a mercy on all the people. You protect the people. You healing the sick people. The soul that ever living thing shall bless your name, Adonai, our God, a spirit of fresh and glory and exile to remember us, the King. It's amazing. Even we have the biggest, where our mouth filled with song on like the sea, our tongue with the joy as the endless waves, with our lips full of praise as the 10 wide heavens, and our eyes shining like the sun and the moon, where our hands spread in our prayers, the angel in the sky, and feet them running and swiftly, and the deer, we will still be unable to thank you, Adonai, our God, and our bless your name, our King. You see, we cannot even express our thankfulness, our gratefulness to Hashem. And then we get to this point that we say, עניים אתה תשמע, צעקת אדם תקשיב ותושיע, בפי ישרים תתרומם, שפתי צדיקים תתברך, ולשון חסידים תקדש, ובקרב קדושים תתהלל. You see the words here, Yud, it's Yitzchak, Tzadik, Chet, and Kuf, Yitzchak. Okay? And if you want to say the word Rivka, Reish, his wife, Bet, some of the Sidurim have it emphasized Kuf and Hey, Rivka. This is the blessing that they wrote and they established when they didn't have kids after 20 years, and then they got Yaakov and Esav. Okay, you finish Nishmat Kol Chai, and then we continue Ishtabach Simcha La'ad Malkenu, doing Ishtabach, all the 13 praise Hashem, God. And then we say the blessing, Baruch Ata Hashem, Bocher B'shir HaZimra, Melech Mulal, Baruch Ata Olam Melech Gadol Mulal V'Tishbachot, Baruch Chai Olamim, Amen. In the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, we say Shir HaMa'anot V'Ha'amakim. This is the 10 days that we have this additional chapter of Tehillim. And then the Chazan do the Kaddish, and we start in the blessing of the we start in the blessing of Shema Yisrael. So here you remember in a regular Shacharit we have the blessing of Shema Yisrael, two blessings. What is that? Yotzer HaMeorot and Ahavat Olam. Then we have the Shema Yisrael, and then we have V'yatziv V'nachon until Gaal Yisrael, one blessing in the end. Here on Shabbat, only the first blessing before Shema Yisrael are different words. What is that? Yotzer HaMeorot. Instead of to do Yotzer Borech Choshech Oseh Shalom Borech Hakol, we continue Hakol Yuducha V'Hakol Yishabechucha. Talks about the creation, the moon and the sky and the stars, and then we have the beautiful song El Adon Al Kol HaMaasim. You control all the action in the world, and ברוך ומבורך בפי כל הנשמה, גודלו וטובו, מלא עולם, דעת ותבונה, סובב ומודו. It's a beautiful song, talk about the creation and that everybody praise Hashem. This is the additional one that we don't have in the regular days of Shacharit. Only on Shabbat, we finish this song, שמחים בצאתה, ששים מבורך. Then we continue on Shabbat. It's all about Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat. We finish the blessing after we say the Kedusha. You remember? This is Kedusha. We say Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. We're talking about the angels. We say Hashem, the angels praising you in the sky, and everybody's singing to you. We all want to join them and to say with them what we want to say together. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. You, the holy, 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 that you're so great. And all the angels repeat and say another pasuk, Baruch kevod Adonai Komo, bless Hashem from his place. We finish Yotzer HaMeorot, Baruch Ata Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. This is the first blessing before Shema Yisrael of Shabbat morning. Second blessing, it's the same thing that we're doing during the week on Shacharit. It's called Ahavat Olam Ahavtanu, page 328. We're talking about how much Hashem loves us, how much Hashem have a compassion on us, how much we would like to connect to the Torah, to connect to the mitzvot, and not to have any test and any failure in sin. Baruch Ata Hashem, Abocher Ba'amo Yisrael Be'ahava. Hashem, you loves us and you choose us out of love. We do Shema Yisrael as a regular. Remember, cover your eyes with the right hand. Do Shema Yisrael. Ve'avta ve'aya im shamoa. The third part is Vayomer, about tzitzit. Then we finish the Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohechem Emet. Then we have the last blessing after Shema Yisrael. It's one blessing. V'yatziv v'nachon v'kayam. Okay, it's the same thing like we do in the regular Shacharit days. Okay, it's continued by Zrat Avotenu, and then talks about all the redemption. Took us out from Egypt. You opened the ocean for us. You help. You saved us, and you protect us all the way. You solve us. We're standing and we're preparing ourselves before Amidah. Then we ending the last blessing after Shema Yisrael by saying Baruch Ata Adonai Gal Yisrael, and then connect your legs and starting to prepare yourself before Amidah. And now again, before we start in Amidah, I want to go back to the same page over here. Shabbat morning. We cover Nishmat Kol Chai and Shema Yisrael, and then we get to Amidah. What we have in Amidah, like we have in all the Amidah in Shabbat prayers. 3 blessings of praising God, 3 blessings of gratefulness in the end, and 1 blessing of Shabbat. Okay? So let's see what is the blessing of Shabbat. So we're doing Amidah as a regular. The first blessing, we bow in the beginning of the blessing, and in the end of the blessing, do the Gevurot. Then in the repetition, after we do Mechaya Mitim, we do Nakdishach, the Kedusha, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Not only when you have a repetition in the shul, when you have minyan. If not, you're skipping on it, you continue Ata Kadosh. And then you're starting, this is the 1 blessing of Shabbat morning. You see, it's different from Shabbat night of Arvit. We have 1 blessing, but it's different words. What is that talk about? Yisemach Moshe b'matnat chelko ki v'ne'eman karata lo. The Moshe will be happy in his part that he got the Torah from you, because you choose him to be your servant, to be the leader of Am Yisrael, and you give him the Torah. And what written in the Torah? They're reading the Torah, the commandment of Shabbat. That's what we need to keep Shabbat. And you didn't give it to the nation of the world. You didn't give it to those people who worship idols, because it's not a person who is not a Jewish, not allowed to keep Shabbat. Even a person who wants to get convert, he needs to keep Shabbat in order to practice, but he needs to touch the light once a time on Shabbat to break the Shabbat. You're touching the electricity 1 time, because you're not allowed to fully keep Shabbat before you become Jewish, because the Shabbat is especially for the Jewish nation, the Jewish world. And then we say the part Ismechu Malchuta Shomrei Shabbat V'Korei Oneg. Everybody who keeps Shabbat need to be happy, need to enjoy the Shabbat. So Hashem, please accept our Shabbat, our calmness and our peace, and give us the peace the entire week. Baruch Ata Hashem Mekadesh HaShabbat. The blessing in the end, it's the same thing in all the prayers. just the beginning of the blessing, it's different each prayer. Then we continue the 3 blessings of gratefulness, Avodah, Odah, and Sim Shalom. Rosh Chodesh we do Ya'aleh V'Yavo in Rosh Chodesh, or in Sukkot, or in Pesach. Continue Modim. We bow Modim Anachnu Lach in the beginning of Modim, and we bow also in the end of Modim. Of course, in Chanukah and Purim, we do in Al Nisim as the same, and in repetition, we do Birkat Kohanim if we have Kohanim. The 10 days of Teshuvah, we add in Chtov L'chaim Tovim Kol Bnei Beritecha. Then we end in Baruch Atah Ona Tov Shivcha L'chana Eladot. We bow on this part. Then we finish the Shmona and the last part after. This is Birkat Kohanim. Yivarcha Adonai V'Yishmerecha. Only if we have Kohanim in the repetition in the shul. Otherwise, you skip to Sim Shalom Tova Bracha, the last blessing of Shmona Esrei. And this part you say in the 10 days of Teshuvah, B'Sefer Chaim Bracha V'Shalom, the 10 days of Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, Baruch Atah Amona, M'varech Tamo Yisrael V'Shalom. You finish Shmona Esrei, you take in 3 steps, you do Oseh Shalom Umav, V'achmas Shalom Aleinu, Kol Amo Yisrael Amen. That's it, you finish Shacharit, the Chazan say Kaddish, Kaddish Titkabal, and you finish Shacharit. Okay? Okay, after we finish Shacharit, what are we doing? If you're in the shul, right away, we open in the ark and we're taking out the Sefer Torah and we're reading the Torah, the weekly parsha. Every week we have a different parsha. This is the portion on the Torah. We starting the parsha right after Simchat Torah. You remember we finish all the Torah, Sefer Dvarim V'Zot HaBeracha, and we're starting all over again, Bereshit Bara Elokim. Then from there, we're going every week a different portion. How many parshiot we have? 53 parshiot. Some of them are connected together, but most of them are each one parasha every week. Okay? And this is the time that we're reading Torah. How many aliyot we have in the Torah? We have 7 aliyot. We have 7 parts in the Torah portion that we get in 7 people. We call them to get aliyah la Torah in order to receive the blessing. In order to receive the blessing from the Torah, so we give them the aliyah. Some of them don't donate, some of them buy it before, some of them make an auction to buy the mitzvot. We take it out the Sefer Torah, we pray for all the sick people, we pick up the Sefer Torah, we raise it, and we show to everyone where we're going to read, and then the Rabbi and the Chazan read the Torah in different tunes. He needs to prepare it and know all of it by heart, because in the Torah we don't have the dots. So you have to know how to read it in a correct way. We finish the Sefer Torah, we close it, then reading the Haftarah. Haftarah is part of the prophets. We have 24 books in the Bible. So after the 5 books of the Torah, we have the other books, 19 books of our prophets. So every week we have a different part, a different chapter that we choose from the prophets. It's called Haftarah. Okay, so if you're going to go back to here, you're going to see after Shabbat morning, we're reading the Torah. If it's Rosh Chodesh or it's a Yom Tov or a holiday, we're reading Hallel right after Shacharit. But otherwise, we're reading the Torah. What is that? The weekly portion is the Parsha. Okay, this is before we start in Musaf. When we finish read the Torah and we read in the Haftarah, we start in Musaf. How we start in Musaf? By saying Ashrei Yeshvei Betecha. This is the second time. Remember the first time in Shacharit, second time in Musaf, the third time in Mincha. Ashrei and then Amidah of Musaf. How many blessings we have in Amidah? Again, only 7 blessings in Amidah. Okay, so let's review the Tfilat Musaf. We start in Musaf Amidah as the regular. You see it over here. Musaf Amidah. As a regular Amidah, you can see it, the 3 blessings in the beginning. It's the same thing as every Amidah that we do. Just different. We have a different kedusha here in the repetition. We have a different kedusha. It's a little bit longer. It's not starting with Nakdishach v'Na'itzach. It starts with Keter Itenu Lecha. It's Hashem, we're going to build a crown for you. with all the angels that praise you. Okay, this is only a repetition. Otherwise, we continue. Ata kadosh shemcha kadosh, or ata amonai ha'el kadosh. In the 10 days of the 30 Yemei Teshuvah, we change it to Amelech HaKadosh. And then we have here the one blessing in the middle. You remember, 3 in the beginning, 3 in the end, and 1 in the middle. And each one of the prayers are different. Narvit is different, Shachrit is different, and Musaf is different. Here we talk about the sacrifices of Musaf that used to sacrifice on the time of Beit HaMikdash. Sacrifices of Shabbat are different from the rest of the week. So we talk about how great and how we used to do it. So may Hashem bring us back to the Beit HaMikdash to do it again and to do the Korbanot HaMusafim again. And then we're reading few psukim in the Torah that talks about this, the Korbanot, which animals we used to sacrifice. 2 sheep in the age of 1, whatever. And then we continue, that everybody may be happy in the Shabbat. It's the same thing in all the Amidah of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. We finish the blessing in the middle of 18, the Amidah of Musaf. The rest is the 3 blessings in the end. Retzeh, again, Avodah, Modim, we bow in the beginning, and we bow in the end. Of course, in Chanukah and Purim, we say Al Nisim, and in the repetition, we do Birkat Kohanim. After we do the 4th bow, we bow in the 4th time at Baruch atah Adonai, Atov Shimcha U'Lechanai Leodot. Okay? And we finish the last blessing, Sim Shalom Tova V'Racha, Chaim Chen V'Chesed. And here we add in it, Sefer Chaim Hashem, write us in the book of life, book of Parnasah, in the 10 days of Teshuvah, between Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, and we finish Baruch atah Adonai V'Barak Amo Yisrael B'Shalom. The last part of Shmona Esrei, Elohai Netzor Shonei Mera, keep my mouth not to gossip and to say Lashon Hara, remove all the enemies and all those people who talk bad about me. Then we do Oseh Shalom Merumav. Remember, taking 3 steps, and you do in the left side Oseh Shalom Merumav, B'Chamash Shalom Aleinu, Kol Amo Yisrael V'Yimu Amen. You finish Amidah of Musaf, and then you do Kaddish, and then you finish the Amidah. What we're doing afterwards, we do Korbanot. The last part of Musaf, it's Korbanot, that we're doing it every Shacharit. And then we finish Musaf by saying, the Alenu Leshabeach. Alenu Leshabeach, it's always ending, and this is the last part of every prayer. After we do Baruch Hu Adonai V'Vorach, we do Alenu Leshabeach L'Adon Hakol. This is the 2 parts that we say in every end of every tefillah. We finish Musaf, and the last part after Musaf, we finish, we have to do Kiddush Shabbat day. And Kiddush Shabbat, it's different than Kiddush of the night. Kiddush for Shabbat, we starting by saying the Mizmor LeDavid. Adonai ro'i lo osa bino desher bitzeni, al mem menochot ena'aleni. This is Psalm chapter 23. And then we do V'shamu bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat et torotam merit olam. And then we do Im tashim Shabbat raglecha asot chavatzecha b'yom kodshi v'karat LaShabbat oneg. Then Baruch atah Adonai borei prei hagefen. This is the Kiddush for Shabbat. Kiddush for Shabbat, it's a different from Kiddush of Friday night. On Friday night, I have a different words, a different blessing. In Kiddush of Shabbat, it's a little bit longer. It's different from Shabbat Friday night. And the way how we do it, we fill up the cup, and then we take in 3 drops of water, and we put it on top of the wine. Then we do the Kiddush of Shabbat, and we have to make sure that the challah is covered while we're doing the Kiddush, and make sure that we have challah in front of us while we're doing the Kiddush. And then we're washing our hand, we're doing Motzi Lechem Min Haaretz, say the blessing of the challah, doing a beautiful meal, and then Birkat Hamazon. We finish that, and we're coming back home. We're coming back to shul after we finish the Seudah, and afternoon we start to do Tfilat Mincha of Shabbat. Mincha of Shabbat, you can see it in the Siddur in page 456. Afternoon prayer for Shabbat. According to the Sephardic way, we start from Korbanot, Lamnatzach, Legitil, Limnukoach, Mizmor, as a regular, like a weekly days. All the Korbanot, the sacrifices. But according to the Ashkenazim, and also you can start from here, this is the most important, as we said before, to start from Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha. Okay, this is Psalm 145. And this is the most important. We start in Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, and then we do Uva Letzion Goel Ursha Vepesha Be'Yakov Neum Adonai. This is the kind of small Kedusha that we say Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. And then after we finish Uva Letzion, we finish by saying half of Kaddish. The Chazan say half of Kaddish. And then we open and you see the half of Kaddish. The Chazan receive the half Kaddish. Then we open in the ark. We open in the ark again because we're going to read the Torah again. Even we read it in the morning before Musaf, we read the entire parasha, the entire portion of the week. Now, on Mincha of Shabbat, we're taking out the Sefer Torah and we're reading only the following week's parasha, but we're reading only the first aliyah. The first aliyah, it's first 10 psukim, sometimes 11 psukim. And we divide it by 3 psukim, 3 psukim, and 3 psukim, sometimes 4 and 4 and 3. Depends, but minimum 3 psukim for each aliyah, for each person. That the first person is the Kohen getting aliyah. The second person is the Levi. The third person is Israel. If you don't have a Kohen, so you can bring any person in the shul that they can get aliyah. But we're reading the following week's parasha portion, just the first part. Okay, so we're reading. We taking out the Sefer Torah, and then we say the blessing of the Torah reading, and then all of it, and then we taking back the Sefer Torah to the ark, and we say Mizmor Shir Le'yom HaShabbat, the songs of the Shabbat. This is Mizmor Shir Le'yom HaShabbat, and then we starting to do Amidah. The Chazan say again half of Kaddish, and then we start in Amidah of Shabbat. Okay? Amidah of Shabbat, it's the same thing that we say yesterday. The same thing that we say, how's the Shabbat prayers are all the same, in the same idea that we have 3 blessing of praising God, 3 blessing of gratefulness, and 1 blessing of Shabbat. But each one of the Amidah, for Arvit it's different, Shachrit it's different, Musaf it's different, Mincha it's different, just the middle one for Shabbat. So Mincha, we're doing Tfilat Amidah of Mincha after we finish the 3 first blessing of Avot, Gevurot, and then Ata Kadosh. In the repetition, remember, we're doing Kedusha, Nagdishach v'naritzach. Only during the repetition of Amidah, recited the Chazan, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. But if not the repetition time, we're doing it by yourself, Ata Kadosh Shemcha Kadosh. And then this is the middle one blessing in Mincha of Shabbat. Ata echad v'shimcha echad v'miki amcha Yisrael goy echad. That you're the one, and your name is one. You see, you are one, and your name is one, and who is like the people in Israel, unique nation on earth, the glory of a greatness, and the crown of deliverance. That we are the best nation in the world, that you choose us. So please have a will in our Shabbat resting. Then we say, Eloheinu v'lo avotenu, otzenu nuchatenu. Please want us to rest in Shabbat and give us the connection to connect with you. Baruch Atah Hashem, Mekadesh HaShabbat. All the blessing that we do during the Amidah, the middle one, it's end by the same words. Mekadesh HaShabbat. You not just bless the Shabbat, you make the Shabbat holy. This is the end of the bless you, sanctifying the Shabbat. Sanctifying the Shabbat, you make the Shabbat holy and special. Then we do the last three blessing. Remember, Avodah, this is Retzeh. And then we do the Modim. Of course, if it's Rosh Chodesh or Chol HaMoed, you do Ya'aleh Ve'avo first. But if not, you continue to Modim. We bow on Modim Anachnu Lach in the beginning of Modim, and also we bow in the end of Modim. If it's Chanukah and Purim, again, we mention Al HaNisim Ve'al HaPurkan. But if we don't have Chanukah and Purim, we just end in by Baruch Atah Adonai, Atov Shivcha Ulecha Na'el Yodot. Then we get into the last blessing. This is Sim Shalom Tova Bracha. The same thing. And during the Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, you add in those prayers, additional prayers, and we end in by Elohai Nitzon Lishonim Mera, Sfata Medaber Merma. Then you do Oseh Shalom Umav. We take in 3 steps to the back. Oseh Shalom Umav, Uba Hamas Shalom Aleinu Kol Amo Yisrael V'Muamen. Then we finish the Tfilat HaAmidah of Mincha. After that, we do 3 psukim that we do it for those people who stay in hell, in Gehenom. They get in break on Shabbat that they don't stay in Gehenom during the Shabbat. So before they coming back, we have a special prayer for them that we say to Hashem that your judgment is great and we have no complaint about it, but please judge them in the right way, in a good way, in a mercy way. It's like your righteousness like the mighty mountains, your judgment like the great deep. You, Adonai, deliver man and beast, and your righteousness, God, reaches the highest heavens. For you great things, God, who like you, your righteousness is everlasting, and your Torah is true. This is all 3 psukim. Only if we say it after Amidah. Not after your Amidah, after the repetition of the Chazan, we say it with the Chazan together, and then we do Kaddish. The Chazan say Kaddish, Tit Kabal, and then we do one of the chapter of Psalm, Hallelujah, Odeh Adonai B'chol Levav, and I want to thank you, Hashem, all what you did to me. It's a special chapter from Tehillim. Psalm 111. Praise God, I will thank Adonai all my heart. Conceal the upgrade and congregation. The works of Adonai are great. It's all about thankful God. And then whoever needs to do Kaddish morning, recite Kaddish Yesh Alama. Then we do Aleinu L'Shabach, and we finish Tfilat Mincha of Shabbat. According to Kabbalah, according to Zohar, Tfilat Mincha, this is the most important tefillah of the entire week. The most valuable, the most time in heaven that we accept in the tefillot, and the most powerful time to pray and to ask whatever you want at the time of Mincha. It's called, according to Zohar, Ra'ava de Ra'avin. What is Ra'ava de Ra'avin? Ra'ava de Ra'avin, it's the sweetness and the best time to pray to Hashem in the time of Mincha. Again, so we pray to Mincha before the sunset of Saturday. We have to make sure that we finish it before the sunset, and then we have time enough to eat Suda Shlishit, the 3rd meal of Shabbat. The first meal was in Friday night. The second meal was in Saturday morning, and the third one is Saturday afternoon. Of course, you can eat it before at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, but most of the people will come to shul, so they stay for Suda Shlishit. If you don't pray in the shul, so you pray Mincha and then do Suda Shlishit, or you can do Suda Shlishit before the third meal. But the different that we have in Suda Shlishit, that between the first Seuda and the second Seuda to the third, that the two first meal of Shabbat are mandatory, which means even you're in diet, even you don't eat bread, even you're not hungry, you have to force yourself to eat at least kazait or kabeitza. Kazait, it's like to eat bread in this amount of bread. But Seuda Shlishit, the third Seuda, you don't have to eat bread. I mean, it's better, it's great, like atchila, of course, try to eat bread and do amotzi lechem min haaretz, lechem mishne. If you don't have it, it's not necessary. I mean, you can eat mezonot, which means crackers, or other things that is mezonot, is not hamotzi, or you can eat fruits or other stuff. You don't have to eat bread. Okay, well, you have to make sure that you finish Suda Shlishit before the sunset, at least before the 13 minutes after the sunset, because after that you're not allowed to eat Suda Shlishit at the time of Arvit, and then you're not allowed to eat anymore, because you're not allowed to eat technically and halachically before Havdalah. When we finish Suda Shlishit, we're doing Arvit of Yom Tov. We're doing Arvit of Yom Chol. Okay? As a regular, you can see it in the Shabbat Siddur in the end, or in the regular Siddur that you have. It's 348. It's a regular Siddur for weekdays. You can have the Arvit. You remember, we don't have to repeat it again. We'll learn it in last shiur. We start in Baruch Hu Mechaper Avon, 2 blessings before Shema Yisrael, and then Shema Yisrael, Ve'afta, and then 2 blessings after Shema Yisrael. Remember, Ve'emunah Kozot, that this is Baruch Ata Hashem Gal Yisrael and Ashkivenu, Shomer et Amu Yisrael Ad Amen, and then Amidah of Arvit, and then you finish the entire Arvit, and you're done with all the prayers of Shabbat, and you actually, Shabbat is over. After Arvit, we're doing Havdalah. The question is, how we doing Havdalah? What does Havdalah look like? So Havdalah, we're doing Havdalah in order to disconnect from the holiness of Shabbat and entering to the days of the week. Havdalah, which means the word Havdalah, to make the difference, to lehavdil, it's to make the difference, the distinction, or the difference between the rest of the days and Shabbat Kodesh. Okay, what we're doing for Havdalah, we're taking for Havdalah 3 things. We have to have a candle, we have to have besamim, okay, this is something to smell good, and we have to have cup of wine. That's what we need for Havdalah. Why we need candle with so many flames over here? Because we say the blessing of Meorei Ha'esh, Baruch Ata Hashem, Elokeinu Melech Haolam, Borei Meorei Ha'esh, which mean, with plural way, which mean many type of fire. That's what we needed. But let's go and understand what is Havdalah all about. We're holding the Kiddush cup and we say the blessing of Borei Pri HaGefen. So first of all, how do you know what to do first? First of all, you see your mouth, which means you need to drink first. So you say the blessing of Borei Pri HaGefen, and then your nose comes after, which means that you need to do the blessing of the besamim, to smell, right? Smell the besamim, you say, Baruch Ata Hashem Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Borei Minei Besamim. And then your eyes to see the fire, okay? When you do the blessing of the fire, you have to hold your hand in the right hand, only right hand, and to look at your nails on the fire, in front of the fire. Why you need to look at your nails? Because This is Adam Arishon, the first Adam, the first human being, when he did the sin on Shabbat, and he was full of nail all his body. But when he make the sin, Hashem take away the nail, the protection on his skin, and he left it only on his fingers. That's what we need to see, the light on the fingers. Remember this moment that he did Havdalah by taking two rocks on Motzei Shabbat, in the end of Shabbat, and he make the fire. That's what we're doing it the same way, the same thing, okay? So and then we'll finish the blessing of the wine, the blessing of the besamim, the blessing of Meorei Ha'esh. Why we need to have so many flames over here? Because we say the blessing Meorei Ha'esh, which mean plural way, plural, which mean many fires. So it's not enough to light only one candle. We need to have two candles. If you cannot, you need to connect them when you put your hand above the candles. If not, there is a special candle for Shabbat that you can use it for Havdalah, and then Shabbat is over, and we finish all the prayers, and we get in all the power and the spirit to our soul, and we got charged from Shabbat Kodesh. So have a beautiful week, and Be'ezrat Hashem, Hashem will make and accept our tefillot. Baruch Hashem, I'm happy that we cover all the prayers that we have during Shabbat. We start to learn about Friday night, that we start from Mincha, of a regular Mincha, and then Kabbalat Shabbat and Lechadodi, do Bameh Madlikin, and Arvit of Shabbat, and of course, some of the people do a Shir Hashirim before Kabbalat Shabbat. And then we'll learn about all the Amidah of Shabbat that start from Avot, Gvurot, and Kadosh, the three blessings in the beginning, one blessing of Shabbat, and the three blessings in the end, altogether 7 blessings. Learn about Shabbat morning is Shacharit, the starting morning blessing, and Zemirot, and Baruch She'amar, and Psuket Zimra, and Nishmat Kol Chai, and Nishma Yisrael, and then Amidah. And then we'll learn about how to read the Torah. If it's Rosh Chodesh, of course, we're doing Hallel. We'll learn about Musaf, Ashrei Ve'Betecha, we're starting, and then Amidah of Musaf. Of course, only 7 blessings in Amidah. And then we'll learn about Mincha, how we have the same 7 blessings, and also we're reading the Torah also in Mincha as well. And then we'll finish Arvit, and we'll finish the Shabbat Kodesh. So may Hashem will accept our tefillot. Amen. Amen.